welcome to our Fanimal Animal Ace interview. My name is Dana Rothenbucher, and with me is a very special guest all the way from Cameroon. Jerry, would you please start us off by introducing yourself, where you work, and what animal you focus most of your time on?
Thank you very much for opening this interview. I'm called Kirensky Jerry Ndi. I'm working with the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife here in Cameroon, and I'm a Cameroonian. So basically, I'm working in the Southwest region, a park warden, or what we usually call here the conservator of Takamana National Park. In the Southwest region here, we have 5 protected areas, and I'm just one of the conservator in one of the parks here in the Southwest. Exactly, as I'm the conservator of Takamana National Park. And this is one of the protected areas among the 6 that are found in the Southwest region of Cameroon. And in all the protected areas, are you getting me? And all the protected areas here in the Southwest, they all have pangolins. And why is it that the population of pangolins are decreasing? Because the rate of hunting is so rampant. You know, this is a species of animal that is so slow. It does not walk that fast as other wildlife or other animals. So even a child of 2 years can easily pick a pangolin, because the only way it protects itself is by rolling when it sees an obstacle or when it senses danger. So with its nature, so it makes now the, moreover, the child from African countries that are on the demands because of their skills. In our area here, in the Southwest in particular, and where I'm working like Takamana National Park, the pangolins are only hunted only for bushmeat to be eaten. They don't know much about the skills, but there's a lot of pressure coming from external world, let's say from the Asian countries, who are sourcing the skills for maybe traditional medicines.
Okay.
Of which I don't know whether it is true or not. And here in the Southwest as well, because of population growth too, there's a lot of pressure on our forests, which is habitats to where the pangolins are living. Population is increasing, agricultural land keep on expanding, and you know, with clearing of a forest, it destroys the ecosystems. These two tends to reduce the population of the pangolins. But as of 2003, because of the increase in pressure on the scales, the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife came out with a circular letter banning the trade in the scales of pangolins. Okay. Because at first, it was only the giant pangolin that was protected. And as that, it was so difficult to distinguish between the white belly and the black belly from the giant pangolin, especially when the species are big. Especially with the scales, you cannot differentiate the two, whether these scales are those of the giant pangolin or the white belly pangolin. So in 2013, the ministry just decided to put a ban on that. But as such, the other 2 pangolins were still in class C. You know, in Cameroon, they classify wildlife into 3 classes. We have class A, class B, and class C. The class A are those that are totally protected. But with those of the class C, they can be killed, they can be eaten. And so people took advantage of that and were still killing even the giant pangolin, which is in class A. But as of 2017, after the Conference of Parties in South Africa, that all the 8 pangolin species in the world were raised to Appendix 1. So in Cameroon, it automatically means that all the 3 pangolins were raised into class A, because with our law here, each species of animal or plant that is in Appendix 1 of CITES, it is automatically placed in class A. So last April, the ministry now came up with another classification of wildlife, and all the 3 pangolin species found in Cameroon have been classified into class A, which means that they are now totally protected. And with this protection now, the government have embarked on making sure that wherever anybody is caught with part or life of a protected species, he or she is punished by the law. And we have to LAGA, which is a law enforcement organization that has been helping the Cameroon government to track those who are dealing with these wildlife species that are in Class A, especially. And in my park, especially the Takamana National Park, because of the ongoing crisis, the staff working under me, let's say the government staff, we are unable to go to the field for the past close to 4 years now. So what we have done is we have brought the communities to realize that conservation is very important. So each year, we bring them out of the back villages to a safe area, let's say like Mamfe, Boya, Libe. We sensitize them and give them pangolin gadgets that they carry back to their homes. They continue the streamlining the sensitization in their various communities. So now when you go to most of these villages, you see somebody at least with a t-shirt. We have posters, we have flyers. So all these have gone to the various communities. And the results are there. We are seeing some pictures that are being sent to us from those communities that pangolins now, everybody is like, oh, want to carry that van wagon to spread the word about conserving pangolins wherever they find themselves. But you know, in every situation, it's not everybody that will like hearken to that call. There are still some people, hey, say, who said the meat is so sweet. How can the conservationists come to like block them not to eat their precious meat? That's what they were born. They saw those meat, they made them, their great-grandparents ate them, and now they were supposed to continue eating. So those of us who are coming with this type of preaching about pangolins, we should not eat pangolins, we should allow pangolins, to some people, they don't still hearken to that. But one thing I like is that some of the communities, especially in the Southwest, they've come up with traditional injunction to make sure that if somebody caught a pangolin at the level of the village, you are fine to pay in something because you have been seen with the pangolin. So that is what is actually being done now in most of the communities within the Southwest where conservation activities are ongoing. Because the German government, through program for the sustainable management of forest resources, has been helping these communities through co-management activities, and they're really seeing the importance of conservation. So the communities too are like welcoming, carrying the message to look and clean where these wildlife are found. So pangolin conservation, it is now known, I can say, almost 80% in the whole of Southwest, especially where conservation activities are ongoing as of now.
That sounds great.
And there was still this question that what is coming in?
That sounds great. That's 80%.
Yeah, close to 80%. As of now, I'm working on pangolin exposure in the Southwest region. As I said earlier, there are 5 national parks. So I'm doing it now for my PhD program because I've been enrolled in the University of Boya. So I'm working on pangolins. So I'm going to tackle all the 5 national parks that are within the Southwest to adopt that with my team to collect information about pangolins. And at the same time, we keep on sensitizing them because when we're going there, we go with some pangolin gadgets, like t-shirts, like flyer, and we tell most of them about the law. Because most of the people, too, they are ignorant of the law. They don't even know that the pangolins have now been classified into Class A. So that's the project I'm doing now. It will be for 3 years. I started in 2020, then I was registered in the university, and it's going to end in 2023. I think before that time, I must have gone through most of the villages within these 5 protected areas and continue the pangolin research activities. But about the challenges, it is so disheartening at times. Then when you go to big markets in town, you still see pangolin in restaurants. They are still there. So you ask yourself, but is it that are people not aware, or they're just being lukewarm to what is being said about pangolins and other wildlife species? That is the main challenge we are facing. And pangolins, since they are so small, somebody can easily catch it, put it in his bag, go to his home and prepare it. Nobody will see you or him or her. And with us here, we're not in developed country where you can have cameras everywhere, that everything that you are doing, maybe a camera will capture you, but that's not the case with us here. So the consumption is still ongoing in certain cases. For those watching me and those getting this interview now, I will say they should continue spreading the word wherever they are about wildlife conservation, and especially on pangolins. And for those who have the means, if they can sponsor other NGOs and other groups working on pangolins, I will still encourage them to keep on supporting pangolins conservation. They should make pledges and save pangolins wherever they are. I think that's where I can end here for now, except you have another question. So thank you very much for the time you've taken to bring up this interview.
No, thank you. I do agree that public education is extremely important to not only it helps alleviate the problems as well as spread awareness. Knowledge is power. So I think that if everyone were to understand these issues are real and that we're facing them right now with pangolins especially, we would have a much better chance at conserving their populations.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and Fanimal. I think we have a lot to learn from you.